All right, we're back with another episode of the VeeFam sessions. I'm here with my good friend Morgan Loewenherz. Morgan, thanks so much for being on.
Oh my gosh. Thank you for having me.
How are you?
I'm doing really, really well. And it's a pleasure to be here with you, and I'm honored. So thank you
When
for having
I
me.
first started to kind of gather people as I started this journey, I was looking in the community and I thought, like, who would I want to have conversations with? And your Twitter is just full of such positivity and abundance. And I just love all the messages you put out into the world. And I was like, I need to get in touch with this woman and chat with her. So
nice.
Thanks so much for being on.
Yeah, I really appreciate that.
Of course. And it was so nice to meet you in real life at VeeCon, which I'm sure we'll get into. But can you, before we get into everything that is this community, can you give us a quick, like, little 55-second, like, cliff notes of your background leading up to how you got into NFTs?
Sure. So I live in Kansas City, and I've been following Gary for 10 years. And I was at one point working at a desk job that I did not like, and I found Gary, and I started watching YouTube videos at him sitting at a desk at a cubicle I didn't like, and it just inspired me in everything he was saying: positivity, spread kindness, stop doing crap you hate, and just start living. And it just inspired me. It would give me chills saying, okay, you're right. I cannot waste any more time. So long story short, last April, Gary posted something on Instagram, and it was, I don't know if you remember, but the image was definitely interesting. It was an image of it looked a little creepy, but he said, I ask my community, and he's never done this. I'm doing a big project. I'm bringing my community along, get at least 0.5 ETH into a MetaMask, which sounded scary. I didn't even know what that was. And so I started Googling, and then Team Gary.
Totally foreign.
Yeah, totally foreign. And then Team Gary put out, instructions of how to do it. And that's what, best decision ever. So thankful. So that's how I ended up here.
Let's take a step back. Do you remember the date or the piece of content where you first heard Gary, where you were like, all right, I need more of this in my life?
Oh, I know Wine Library, and then a specific episode of him standing on a corner out in the middle of the street. And I don't remember the exact clip, but he's like, you're going to die. You could have been a tree. And so there's been so many videos that they're all kind of.
I remember that one. Yeah.
Just inspiring. And I'm like, who is this person? And I love his principles that he stands behind.
So, as I mentioned earlier, you have a lot of positive things to say, messages, uplifting things for people to consume and feel better about their day. Was this part of who you were before, or is his content led you to be more of this kind of outgoing, positive person who puts these messages into the world?
That's a good question. I think that it's always kind of been instilled in part of me, of just, you can always look at the bright side, and no matter what you're going through, even if it's a tumultuous time, there's always something you can learn from it. And so I try to see the half glass full rather than empty. And I've always been that way, but he, I think, just brought it out in me more. So.
I love that. And, as I said, we had the privilege of meeting in person. You are definitely outgoing and bubbly. Like, you can't fake that. So it definitely was part of you on some level. So now we're in April of 2021. You're hearing these words like MetaMask and Ethereum and NFT. Did you do like the education? Did you educate yourself? Talk to me about this period leading up to the VeeFriends on May 5th.
Oh, I feel like it's been the greatest masterclass I've ever taken in my life. And it's ever evolving and always changing, but I cannot believe the amount that we've all learned in 1 year. I started, watching YouTube, and Team Gary put out a whole instruction form of how to, go to Coinbase, buy ETH. I didn't know what that was. How to download a MetaMask, how to transfer it's scary when you're clicking copy and paste the wallet address. And if you do it wrong, your money's gone. So, or your ETH is gone. So it was really cool that they took the time, that they really wanted to bring the community along, that Gary wanted to bring his community, that he educated us, that we got this education for free. And this is the next, it's a movement, an evolution. And it's just really incredible that we got to be a part of it from the beginning. And I just feel eternally blessed.
That's such a good point. And like, these are VeeFriends aside, the actual project aside, like the skills and the knowledge and the just little tips that we got handheld through is so valuable. And even like, little moments like those, like, okay, like I just sent it from wallet A to wallet B, but it's like, it's not in B yet. Like, where is it?
Yes.
So I remember messages being like, it's okay. Just be patient.
It's
so
scary
to have that from such a dependent, established, trusted, character like Gary, I think
Absolutely
was very valuable.
And
because we're the people now that are going to carry. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just saying, even the gas fees. I didn't know what gas meant. I didn't know what mining meant. I didn't know what any of it meant. So just learning from the ground and going, what do you mean gas fees? What is this?
Right. So now you have all these skills. You feel better about it. Did you go into that knowing, okay, like, did you do your homework? Did you want this character? Did you have a game plan going into the mint? Which was 5.5 and then obviously got delayed.
Right. No, I initially didn't really understand the Dutch auction because I'd never done one before. So that's another thing we learned. So the first day, as it started going down to the floor to 0.5, it was just right above 0.5. I didn't do it the first day. I was too afraid to click a button and make a mistake. So I kind of observed the first day, May 11th, because it ended up dropping May 11th, 1 week behind. And so my first purchase was May 12th. So it was my first NFT. It was Tremendous Tiger. It was just sitting there, and I loved the character. And so I minted that. And that's my very first NFT, and I'm never getting rid of it. What about you?
I love it. I am actually still on the hunt for V1. I missed that boat. I was like very slim pickings, tight wallet. And then like that week from 5.5 when it got delayed, I don't know if you remember, but ETH was going like this.
Yes,
like ETH was just soaring that time. And like, as that happened, I started like shriveling up, like, and I wish like going back, like I should have had the conviction, should have sold more things. I could have made it happen. But I'm a firm believer, like everything's happening for a reason. Like, this is the way I'm supposed to be 100%. Going about it. But, 100%.
I'm excited. Wait.
And that's going to be part of my journey with this podcast too. Where I end up on that front, but thank you. And like, it's great to have like so much more context. And now I have like all these friends in the community to support me. So I'm excited about the journey. It's not just buying it. It's the actual process of it is truly a journey now.
Heck yes. And that's what, I was just going to say, I bring it back to what Gary said, like buying the jets. It's not even buying the jets. It's the journey to buy the jets. And if I don't buy the jets, okay, it's the journey. And so just like you and your friend and me, whatever, it's all the journey.
That's a really interesting parallel. That makes a lot of sense. Because like I surrendered. I didn't surrender trying, but I surrendered like the attachment. Like, I have to have it now. Like, I have to have it by this date. Like, I'm okay with it.
I love it.
So, because I know it's going to happen. I know it's going to happen.
I do too.
Thank you for pointing that out. That's amazing. So, what, like, in short, why did you get it? Like,
so
these things, like NFT. Like, why did you pull the trigger on May 11th?
Sure. So I've purchased his, I don't know if you remember the K-Swiss drop. So I got the 001, the 001s, and then the Clouds and Dirt, and I have his books and have wine. And it was just, I believe in him so much. And when he said that he's doing this, he's doing a project and he wants to bring his community along, he's never said that before. Like, he's never been that passionate about, I'm doing this and you're coming with me if you want to. And and I've never seen anything like it from Gary. And I knew that I wasn't going to pass it up. I didn't know what an NFT was at the time. I didn't care. I was in.
I love it. And that says so much about him and his community, because that's like, no one knew what an NFT was. Like, the investing, like no one really knew.
Right.
So quick, a couple moments on the timeline here, and I want you to just kind of remember where you were, remember your first thoughts, remember how you reacted and what you did during these moments in time. All right. Sure. So August of 2021, the Book Games announcement. Well, it wasn't even called Book Games then. The announcement that he's doing this special thing where if you buy 12 books, you get a special prize. And I don't even think he said NFT in the first few hours of that, but it was kind of understood.
Right.
But talk to me about that moment for you.
Oh, yeah. So I went all in. I got 192 books. And I'm just, like I said, very passionate about what he's doing. And he sat on, was it an hour? He was on Zoom with everyone. It was at least an hour.
Multiple hours.
Sat on video. And he's like, trust me, those who missed out, you're like, don't miss out. So it definitely got me hyped more than I already am. And so I'm very thankful for that. So I ended up getting 16 book game tokens. And I just burned 5 for the praying mantis yesterday or 2 days ago.
Oh, congrats.
Thank you.
Congrats.
So excited about that.
What was your thoughts about, were you into like the arbitrage and like the marketplace, or did you just kind of want to hold? What's your, you don't need to share your strategy, but just sure.
So for book games, I'm going to hold, like, other than minting, other than burning for the special character, I'm holding. And if maybe trying to get some more, if just watching what happens in Token Trove, because I just believe that at any given time, Gary, he can say, hey, this event's happening if you have these book game tokens. So I think he really is going to make this forever. And we never know when it's going to happen, what event, one day. So spur of the moment. What about you?
I should have bought more books. I got a couple. I got,
that's good.
A couple batches, 24.
Hey, that's
24,
great.
And I acquired some. Through. I really got into the watching the market, seeing what people were doing. I was on Jeremy and those guys' spaces and doing busy videos. And I ended up trading, since I don't have a VF1, I didn't get a ticket. I ended up trading 4 of them for a VCon ticket. So I have 2 right now, but man, it's very tempting. It's very tempting. It's very tempting, the price point now, to knowing that it's forever, to jump on.
Yeah.
So quick, I did some, I really want to get into the community here, but a quick couple of quotes. I was going through your Twitter, and on May 1st, 2022, you said the operator, the jockey, in the end, this is all that matters. Knowing, like, we're talking about book games, it's going to be forever. Gary mentions that it's a 55-year project. In 5 years from now, so we're talking 2027.
Okay.
What are people going to be saying about this jockey leading this project?
I can only imagine. There's just no chance to me. There's no chance that he's not going to fulfill his dreams and his vision. And we don't know how long it's going to take him to get there, but every step of the way, there are going to be dynamic things happening. And I can only imagine. I think VeeFriends will be, I really do. I think VeeFriends will be a household name, just like he said, where he said all your grandkids will be carrying around VeeFriends. And there's going to be, whether it's Oculus and and or a movie or characters, or toothpaste or cereal or tennis shoes or apparel. I think VeeFriends are going to be everywhere, and they're going to be changing the world in the message they're sending out about kindness and empathy, compassion, conviction, and competitive clown. I know that's a big one. So I think
Huge.
it's so exciting.
It's oh yeah. I mean, I'm a buyer. I love all of it. Thinking about it in those terms, knowing like everything's we're in here for the long haul. Thinking about 5-year terms is very interesting because of how how time feels in this space. Like we're talking about everything that we just talked about for V1 was a year ago, but it feels like 10 years. I mean, just VCon seemed like it was, forever ago already. Right. So 5 years is very interesting to me.
Yeah.
But and there's so much happening.
I agree. NFT, it just seems like time is fast forwarded in the NFT space every day. I just feel like one day I'll be working all day and then go running errands and come home and I've missed everything that's happened that day on Twitter or Discord. And I feel so lost and behind. It happens so quickly.
Yes. There's so much content. There's so much content, and well, if you think about it, there's 3 projects, between VeeFriends and V2 and book games, and then thinking about how they intermingle with things like burning for new characters or burning for VCon tickets. And you throw in this massive, just game-changing event. Like there's just so much. So I definitely feel that way too.
Yeah, and then they just threw in the pickleball thing, which is that's a whole other side thing. They're just constantly evolving.
Huge. It's so much good stuff. I want to talk about community because one of the big reasons I started this podcast, knowing, like, believing in Gary and all he's doing is one thing, but the community that has been built and still being built and kind of formulated as we move on, I think is one of the greatest things and one of the things that I've been drawn to most about this. So I really wanted to document that. And community is just like a buzzword, but what does the word community mean to you when you hear that?
It'll make me get a little emotional, but what he's built, it is a family, and it was so cool to see you in person and to like everyone give hugs to each other, and it feels like that we've known each other forever. And in one short year, we've created this bond that is indescribable. And I would do anything for you, and I would think you would do anything, and vice versa. All of us, we are like a big family. And for outsiders, I think it may sound a little far-fetched. They don't understand, and I don't expect them to. I wouldn't either. I think if I'm on the outside looking in, but it is the most extraordinary thing that Gary has built, and it's based on, I believe, the principles that he established, because I think everything starts at the top and trickles down. So all those principles that he put in the book, they're all trickling down, and those are the people that he attracted to this community. And it's just extraordinary to see all these different people and doing successes, and you doing your podcast, and people like building stuff from the ground up together is incredible.
It's amazing. And I love what you said. That's why the VeeFam, like it is a family. I don't mean to, for anyone that's listening that did miss VCon, I don't mean to say this as, poking fun, but it was just amazing, like, to see people, and like we weren't meeting for the first time, like we were, but it just didn't feel like it. It did have that kind of family feel. So I love it, and that you kind of answered my next question, like what makes this community special? And I think you hit on a lot of that. But let's take it a step further. When you said people don't understand, and I have that in my life, and I'm sure a lot of people have in real life friends that don't totally understand. Like, I guess what I'm asking is, how could you start to relate without going too much, sharing all of your feelings, because then people throw out like, oh, what do you, you've joined a cult or something?
Exactly.
And I think we talked about that last time.
Yes.
How could we simply explain this to people to help them understand?
So what's interesting, I had a conversation with one of my teammates he's not I work with him, but he's on a different team in my company. He lives in New York City. So I was talking to him yesterday on the phone, and I was telling him about NYC NFT. And I was telling him a little bit about NFTs, and he's like, I want to learn more. How do I learn? And I'm like, well, the big thing is do your own research, but YouTube is a great resource.
Of course.
I said, even VeeFriends put out a whole thing about how to start from the ground up. So I recommended that, and he started becoming interested. And I said, it's incredible. It's the new movement, unlike anything we're going to see in our lifetime, at least me. And so he said, how can I get to NFC NYT? And I go, you don't even, and he lives in New York City. And I was like, you don't even have to go to the actual event. Just go to the offsite things that are happening, be around it, listen to it, feel the energy.
Bingo.
To the big things that are happening, that we're so early. It's the wild, wild west. We are so fortunate and so early. So he's excited. He doesn't really know what it's all about, but he's looking in the game.
I love that. It's just one by one, as Gary says, hand to hand combat. That's kind of how I think about it. Just kind of changing the perspective of one person at a time, or giving them a little bit more information in little chunks.
Yeah.
I love it. So on March 12th, you tweeted, March 12th, 2022, you tweeted, the VeeFam is built different, which I absolutely love. And how I would answer the question of what makes the community different is that people are truly just giving all the time, whether it's their time or their knowledge or their willingness to help, or, physical or digital resources. There's so much generosity.
Yes.
People are giving all the time. Is there anything, if we flip that on its head, is there anything that you go to the community for to try to get out of the community? Is there anything you're looking for?
The community is incredible. And I'll even give another example. A couple of days ago, I really got this hit. You can see my dog. My dog's like jumping around over here. I just got this. I want to learn about wolf game. So I don't know if you know much about it. Wolf game. So I know a little bit, but I don't know a lot. So I just put out a tweet, and all of a sudden, VeeFriends that are part of Wolfgang, they're DMing me, helping me understand, telling me telling me to get into Discord or go on the live server. Like, everyone was like coming out of the woodworks wanting to help. They're like, we're here to help. Any questions you have. So it doesn't matter if it's NFT related, or if you want to start your own business, or if you want support in a podcast, or if you want to have a group live in real life meetup. It doesn't matter. People are going to be there to help you no matter what.
100%. 100%. I don't want to beat a dead horse, but I'm going to, because that's what this is all about. Like, it's such a truly amazing group of men and women. And with that, are you part of the kind of V-Woman universe at all? Do you play part in that?
Yes. And I was actually at the event. It was at Thursday. The Thursday event was incredible. And so I just am honored to be a part of it. Gary ended up showing up towards the end of it.
I saw that. On the Instagram, there was actually kind of a behind the scene thing.
They did.
I don't know if you caught that, but they did a nice job with that. So what would you, it's a common thing for people to say, because of the generous community that it is, that, you don't need to own a VF1, you don't need to own a VF2 to be part of the community. But what kind of advice would you give to someone that just can't swing it right now? The 2,000, the 20,000, whatever we're talking about. What would you say to them?
Sure. I would say that absolutely. I'm sorry if you hear my dog panting. His little face is right here. So it doesn't matter. It truly doesn't matter if you have a VeeFriends 1, a VeeFriends 2, book game tokens. It does not matter. Show up in the Discord, show up on Twitter, follow people that you like, learn from other people. Get on VeeFriends or YouTube series about how to learn about NFTs. It does not matter. And the beautiful thing, and I mean this to my core, the beautiful thing about VeeFam is nobody cares about what you have or don't have. If you're in the group, if you're in the discussion, if you're showing, you are VeeFam.
I love that. And while you were talking, it reminded me of a story of a tweet I saw in this. I don't know if it caught your radar, but the couple that gave their Uber driver at the beginning of the weekend a VCon ticket.
No, I didn't see.
And he had no understanding of VeeFriend, of NFTs, let alone VeeFriends. But they got in a conversation from the airport in Minneapolis. And they said, well, you know what? If you set up a MetaMask, we'll give you a ticket so you can go. And he did, and he ended up going all 3 days.
That's incredible.
And obviously, he's in the fam now. But he won the generosity to get all this in motion. But he showed up, like he took advantage of it and loved it. And now, like, who knows what path that's going to set him on? So that's just one of the many stories.
Yes. I actually brought my son with me, who's 23, and he just graduated college, and he knows a little about NFTs, but he's not like, he didn't really know much. So he didn't know what to expect. He came out of that with he was mind blown. One, about everyone there, getting to meet you and everyone. He thought it was just extraordinary, the community that was created. He left, went home. He lives in DC. He texted me the next morning and said, hey, can you show me how to get my VCon ticket to show up in my MetaMask wallet? It's not showing up and I want to show my friends. So he is now going to all his friends. And then he's like, one of his best friend's sister is a musician. And he goes, I think she should look into NFTs. So it's a ripple effect that we don't even know.
And there you have it. Amazing. That's such a special event to do, with a child, with your son.
It was incredible.
So kudos to you for that. Like that's, I'm sure it was memorable, but will become more special as we go on. You mentioned your dog is there. Harry is your dog, right?
Yes. That is so good.
So what's the, I saw on, give me the quick story behind all these Starbucks drawings, because I see you post the pictures of the cups.
Yes. So I'm kind of a Starbucks addict. So
what's that about?
Well, Harry, my dog, he likes to. There he is, right there. He likes to.
Hi, Harry.
He loves to go on a drive in the morning. So I'll take him on this certain drive, and he knows what we're doing every single morning. We take this drive. So I'll stop at Starbucks, and I've been friends with them. I consider them friends too, and family, because I sit and talk and I know what's going on in their lives. And so we follow each other on Twitter. And she, one of the baristas started drawing Harry, and I was like, you should start your own NFT project. And I didn't realize that she went to school for, I don't know what the title is, but she's a really good artist. So then now she started to follow. She just made one cup. I wish I should have brought it up here to show on camera, but it's of Harry, and then it had hashtag VeeFam. And I'm like, she's paying attention.
Oh, that's amazing.
So cool. And it's down.
That's amazing.
Saved it.
They do look great. I saw a couple while I was checking out your Twitter, and I was like, wow, that's super cool.
She's really talented. She draws
awesome. So let's get her a project.
Yeah.
Let's get her a project. So quick couple questions here, and then we're going to end with some rapid fire.
Hey.
Which VeeFriends character would be on your gravestone?
Well, I think my first NFT ever was Tremendous Tiger. And I love Empathy Elephant. So those two.
I love it. And I've been asking this to every guest, because I think it's extremely interesting to reflect. Which character do you think you need to spend the most time with? Meaning that which character do you need to expose yourself to help you in that department?
Ooh, that's a great
of your life.
Great question. Maybe Patient Panda, because sometimes I want things to I get going, and I want things to happen. And maybe if you just take a step back, and let it just unfold. So patient panda.
Awesome. All right. So before we end here, I want to just thank you again. Like, you are just the poster child for an unbelievable ambassador to an unbelievable community, just always with the positivity and just the getting people in and for the right reasons and just showing them the path. So I love that. And,
thank you so much.
I know you're not going, anywhere. I know you're going to be here for the long run.
You too, Rob. I know you are too.
Oh yeah, I'm here to stay. But I love what you wrote. This is the last tweet I will share of yours on April 21st of 2022. You said, "One day we'll look back and say I was fortunate to be part of that." And I couldn't agree more. It's just an honor and a privilege to be part of this and to talk to people like you. So thanks for just sharing the love.
Rob,
All right. So we're going to end with some.
Thank you.
Sorry,
Sure.
I might be rugging for a second.
Okay. I just want to thank you. Thank you for what you're doing, and thank you for reaching out, and thank you for being a bright light. You were going around VCon and just hugging everyone and just really welcoming everyone and making everyone feel comfortable. So I just want to thank you for what you're doing.
I appreciate that. Thanks so much, Morgan. All right, so I call this micro macro spitfire. So you can answer with one really micro answer, short word, and then move on, or you can do your macro. Actually, okay. I messed that up. You can do macro, one short answer. You can go micro, really detailed.
Okay.
Here we go. This is mine as a teacher. Favorite teacher you had growing up, and one reason why?
Absolutely. I know this. Mr. Gamper, 6th grade. He was so kind, and he just had a lot of empathy, and he knew what students were going through at different times, and love him. Great teacher, and I'll always remember him. Grateful for him.
Someone that needs to be followed, must follow in the VeeFriends community.
Data. DATA.
Nickelodeon or...
Okay, go ahead.
I love Data. I'm a follower. Yes. Nickelodeon or Comedy Central?
Woo, Comedy Central.
Tea or coffee?
Okay, I have one coffee every morning and one green tea, unsweetened green tea. So I have to say both.
Oof. If you had to, this is tough.
I have to pick one?
You have to.
Okay, coffee.
Yeah, all right. You didn't have to, but I appreciate you playing along. All right, I know you're a big Chiefs fan. Are you ready for this one? Chargers or Raiders?
Ooh, Chargers. We have a love-hate.
Outdoor camping adventure or...
Okay.
Outdoor camping adventure or fancy room service in a hotel?
Outdoor camping adventure.
Gratitude gorilla or patient pig?
Gratitude gorilla.
A 2-hour group access dinner with Gary or a 10-minute one-on-one with him?
Ooh, I'd say a 2-hour group. More time.
I love it. Well, Morgan, thank you so much. You're just the best, and I can't wait to talk with you for the next 55 years.
I really appreciate it. I'm honored that you would ask me to do this, and thank you for all you're doing. And the next 55 years are going to be a lot of fun.
Of course. Thank you so much.
I appreciate you.